students. Our today's topic is Python modules. During the previous class, we have discussed about how to work with functions in Python. For today's class, we are going to discuss about the various types of modules that are present in Python. As you know, I am K.S.Praneeth Chowdary from the Department of Computer Science, SRR Government Arts and Science College located at Karimnagar. So what is a Python module? A Python module allows us to logically organize our Python code. Grouping related code into a module makes the code easier to understand and to use. A module is a Python object with arbitrarily named attributes that we can bind and reference. The whole meaning in all the three sentences that are on the screen tells us that module is also a code which allows us to make use of another code which is very much related to the code we are using. So organizing that code into the best format makes us to use the Python modules. So here we can see some more things about Python modules. A module is a file consisting of Python code. So what does module contain? Module contains all files which are consisting of Python program. Here a module can define functions, a module can define classes, and a module can define variables. A module can also contain code which is already being executed. So how can we make use of these modules? See the example given here. If a Python code for a module a name generally resides in the file name aname.py. py is the dot extension for Python in modules. So here we see the import statement in Python. We can make use of any Python source file as a module by executing an import statement in some other Python source file. So we have designed a file with a specific name, and we can make use of that source file in another program by using the module which has the keyword import statement. The import statement is displayed on the screen, and let us study about the syntax. Import module 1, module 2, and so on. We can import any number of modules in Python. So when the machine encounters an import statement, it imports the module if the module is present in the search. That module should be present because we have to insert that module, so that module should be found out by the machine or the interpreter. So once a module is loaded, it can be imported any number of times, and this prevents the module execution from happening over and over again if multiple imports occur. So here we have to learn that a module has to be loaded only once, but it can be imported any number of times. Now we see the from import statement in Python modules. What is this from import statement and what is that import statement which we have studied? Import statement has to search the module, but here from import statement specifies that the module which we have specified is in a particular location. So Python's from statements lets us import only specific attributes from a module into the current file. So we can see the from import module syntax on the screen. Given in the red lines at the bottom of the screen. From name of the module, import name1, name2, namein. So here we see that the importing has being done from a specific module. From name of the module, import name1, name2, and so on, namein. The from import statement does not import the entire module into the current namespace. Here we have to remember that the whole file from the from file will not be brought into the import file. Here we just import the item from the module into the global symbol table of the importing module. Whereas import statement brings the whole file, but from import statement brings only a specific name. Now this is a quite interesting topic in Python. Here we can see how to generate random numbers using the random module. Using the random module, we can generate pseudocode, that means pseudo random numbers. Here we have a function called as random. This random function generates random numbers between 0 and 1. You can see the example there, 0, comma 0.1 and so on till 1. Here the point to be remembered is numbers that are generated using the random function module are not truly random, but they seem to be random for most purposes. You can see the syntax of random there, from random import star print random. So random is a function which has been already defined there in math module. Now we have seen how to generate numbers from 0 to 0 or 0 to 1. Now we can see there is a function to print, to display, to give output from the numbers 1 to 100. To generate a whole number, that is integers, from 1 to 100, we can use the module from random import star print rand int. Rand int means random integers. There we have given the starting number and we have given the ending number there. So during the previous function random, we saw how to print numbers from 0 to 1. Here we saw to print random integers from 1 to 100. And now we are going to print numbers using the uniform function for float numbers. To generate a random floating point number between 1 to 10, we use the function uniform. So from random import star print uniform 1 comma 10. 1 is the starting number, 10 is the last number, which displays us the floating numbers. Now we have to again identify the difference between floating number and integer. Integer are the values with no decimal points, whereas float are the values with decimal points. Now math module in Python. This is very useful for mathematical functions and this is always available in Python. It provides access to the mathematical functions defined by the C standard. And now let us briefly discuss about 10 to 11 math modules available in Python. Here we see that a function called as math.ceil, CEIL of x. CEIL represents the ceiling. Ceiling means the top one. Return the ceiling of x as a float, the smallest integer value greater than or equal to x. We have learned in our previous classes that floating numbers, when they are given more than 0.5, that means If there is a number with the decimal number 1 to 4, then it will be rounded off to the previous one. And if the decimal number stands from 5 to 9, then it will be given to the next value. So ceiling is also similar. It gives the integer value that is greater than or equal to x. Now we have another function, math dot copy sign x comma y. Whatever the sign y possesses here, that will be given to x, either negative sign or positive sign. Whatever the sign that y has will be assigned to x. That means the sign of y will be copied to x. Math dot fabs of x, f absolute value. Here the absolute value of x will be given as the output answer. Next one, math dot factorial of x. Here we get the factorial of x, whatever the value that has been given here. Next, math dot trunc trunk of x. Here the real value x is been truncated to an integer. Next we see math POW of x comma y. That means x to the power of y. Next, math dot sqrt of x. Here we get the square root of x as the answer. Next, math dot degrees of x. Here we get the angle of x from the radians to degree. Now here we see the radians of x converts angle x from degrees to radians. Next we see math dot pi. Here we know that pi value is 22/7, so it gives the constant pi value. Next we see the constant e value here. It provides the constant e value to the available precision. So students, for today's class, just try to remember, have a look on the screen for the things that we have learned today in Python. import statement. Syntax of import statement. The from import statement in Python. The random numbers. Function to print the values from 0 to 1. And the function to print the random numbers from 1 to 100. And the function to print the float numbers from 1 to 10. Next, math modules in Python. Math dot seal of x. Math dot copy side x comma y. Math dot f abs of x. Math dot factorial of x. Math dot trunk of x. Math dot POW, that is power of x comma y. Math dot sqrt of x. Math dot degrees of x. Math dot radians of x. Math dot pi, which gives us the mathematical constant pi, and math dot e, which gives us the mathematical constant e for the available precision. Just go through the math modules and work out them in the Python interpreter. And for tomorrow's class, let us study the other modules that are available in Python. Thank you for your silent listening. Thank you.